Hello, this is UNIONE Global Discovery Series. In the previous video, we discussed how to identify serious buyers. Today, we will examine trial orders. A trial order can create a valuable market opportunity, but it can also create unnecessary cost and misleading results. The key question is not simply whether the order is small. The key question is whether the trial has a clear purpose and a practical path toward a commercial order. Many new buyers begin with one question: can we start with a small quantity? That is a reasonable question. However, a trial order should not be used only to reduce the first purchasing commitment. It should answer specific commercial questions. Can customers accept the product? Can the chosen sales channel sell it? And can the test result support repeatable business process? A well-designed trial order allows the buyer to observe real market signals. The buyer can test customer response, retailer interest, channel suitability, and basic sales potential. This is more useful than relying only on online research or personal preference. At the same time, one small shipment cannot prove the full market. The trial must collect information that can support a practical business decision. These orders also allow buyers to evaluate the actual product. A photograph and product description cannot fully explain texture, fragrance, packaging quality, user experience, or market suitability. For cosmetics, the buyer may need feedback from retailers, influencers, staff, or selected users. The evaluation should focus on clearly defined criteria, not only whether one person likes or dislikes the product. Packaging is an important part of trial evaluation. The buyer should check the outer box, product container, sealing condition, and delivery damage. They should also review whether local language labels, importer information, warnings, or product registration details are required. Retail presentation matters as well. A suitable product may still face difficulty if its packaging does not fit local compliance, shelves, or online sales channels. A trial order should generate observable demand signals. Useful signals may include repeat customer inquiries, retailer response, product reviews, conversion rates, and the willingness to reorder. Selling all units once does not automatically prove stable demand. The buyer should understand why the product sold, through which channel, at what price, and whether the result can be repeated after the initial promotion. Small quantities reduce initial inventory exposure, but they can create other operational risks. The factory, supplier, exporter, warehouse, and logistics provider may still need to perform many of the same tasks required for a larger order. Documents must be prepared. Products must be checked and packed. Communication and shipment conditions and coordination are still necessary. Therefore, a small order is simple in volume, but not always simple in execution. Logistics is often the greatest weakness of a very small trial order. The goods may not use carton or pallet space efficiently. Freight companies may apply minimum charges. Warehouse handling, customs support, inland transport, and document fees may remain similar regardless of quantity. As a result, a very small shipment can create disproportionately high logistics cost for each product. The real cost of a trial order is not only the product price, freight, packing, handling, customs-related expenses, document preparation, and payment charges must also be considered. Buyers sometimes request the lowest possible test quantity and then conclude that the product is too expensive. But the problem may not be the product itself. The problem may be an inefficient trial structure. A poorly designed trial can produce misleading conclusions. The quantity may be too small to observe meaningful demand. The product may be tested through the wrong channel or at an unrealistic price. There may be no marketing support or clear target customer. In that situation, weak sales do not necessarily prove that the product has no market potential. They may simply prove that the test was not properly designed. Balanced trial planning begins with a clear objective. The buyer should define what the trial is intended to measure. The quantity should be small enough to control risk, but large enough to produce useful feedback. The channel, retail price, promotion method, testing period, and next decision should also be defined. A good trial is not an isolated purchase. It is preparation for the next commercial step. At UNIONE Global, we first review the buyer's company, target market, import capability, intended channel, and expected commercial direction. We then identify a focused group of suitable products instead of sending an unfocused catalog. We also review available documents, sample conditions, quantities, packaging data, and logistics options. Our goal is to design a trial that produces useful information and supports a realistic path toward commercial ordering. Qualified buyers can receive more than a product price list from UNIONE Global. We can help prepare a focused product shortlist based on the market, channel, budget, and target customer. We can review available export documents and coordinate with Korean suppliers. We can also organize sample quantities, cartoon information, logistics considerations, evaluation points, and the requirements for the next commercial order. The final purpose of a trial is not to remain in the trial stage, the buyer should collect market feedback, review cost and logistics, select the strongest products, and define the next order quantity. The supplier and exporter should also use the trial to improve documents, packing, communication, and delivery planning. When the results are organized properly, the trial becomes the first step in a repeatable commercial transaction. A trial order can reduce risk and create opportunity, but a trial without a clear objective, realistic quantity, appropriate channel, and defined next step can waste time and produce inaccurate conclusions. At UNIONE Global, we welcome buyers who are prepared to evaluate products systematically and share meaningful market feedback. For qualified partners, we can help design a practical trial structure and prepare the transition toward commercial supply. Thank you for watching. Next video, G024, Why Long-Term Buyers Think Differently. Thank you again.